In this question, we need to find the number average molecular weight of polymer at 99.5% conversion. The monomers adipic acid and ethylene glycol are in equimolar ratio. Number average molecular weight of polymer can be represented by this simple equation. To calculate this, we have to find degree of polymerization and molecular weight of repeat unit. To find the degree of polymerization, we can use this simple equation which is for two monomer system. For equimolar system, R is 1 and the equation reduced to a very simple form. As percentage conversion is given, we have to put that value in equation to calculate degree of polymerization. To calculate molecular weight of the repeat unit, we can simply add the atomic weight of all the atoms and then divide it by 2. The molecular weight of the repeat unit is 86. As we know degree of polymerization and molecular weight of the repeat unit, we can calculate number average molecular weight of polymer by simply multiplying the two. The answer is 17,200 gram per mole. In this question, we need to calculate end-to-end distance of a freely jointed polymer chain. So, in order to solve this question, we need to understand what a freely jointed chain is. A freely jointed chain in a very basic sense is chain which can bend at any angle without any restriction. As a result, its end-to-end distance will be very small compared to its total length. The example of this type of behavior is when you drop a thread on the ground, you can see that the end-to-end distance of thread is not equal to its original length. Rather, it is very small. Mathematical way to represent this value is shown here. Here, R is the end-to-end distance, N is the number of bonds in the chain, which is usually double of the degree of polymerization, and L is bond distance. So L is given and we can calculate N by multiplying the degree of polymerization by 2. After this, we can put this value in the equation and calculate the root mean square value. And the answer is 15.4 nanometer. In question 17, we need to calculate viscosity average molecular weight of polymer. The viscosity average molecular weight of polymer can be represented by this simple equation. Here, the viscosity is the reduced viscosity at zero concentration and K and A are the constants. As viscosity K and A is given, so we can simply put these values in the equation and calculate the molecular weight. After simplification, we find that viscosity average molecular weight of polymer is 61,390 gram per mole. For more detailed description of different molecular weight of polymer, please watch our video on that topic. Next question is, a composite of polypropylene reinforced by 20% by volume of glass fiber is to be prepared. Densities of glass fiber and polypropylene are given. Now we need to calculate the amount of glass fiber in kgs for per kg of composite. In order to solve this problem, we will have to calculate the density of the composite and then we can determine the volume of 1 kg of composite. As volume fraction and density of glass fiber is given, we can determine the weight of fiber per kg of composite. As volume fraction of glass fiber is given, so the volume fraction of polypropylene will be 1 minus volume fraction of glass fiber. Considering mass balance, the volume of composite multiplied by density will be equal to the sum of the volume multiplied by respective densities of glass fiber and polypropylene. So volume fraction and density is given. We can put those values in the equation and then can calculate the density of the composite. Once density is known, we can calculate the volume of 1 kg of composite and then calculate the mass of glass fiber per kg of composite, and the value is 0.41 kg. So in this question we need to find the pressure drop per unit length of the tube. Different equations to calculate pressure drop across the tube are shown here. For this question, we can use equation 1. Let's see what is given in the question. So first is pressure drop, which is need to be calculated. Next is pipe length, as we need to calculate the pressure drop for unit length, then it will be 1 meter, as all the values need to be in similar scale. Next is viscosity and flow rate. Both viscosity and flow rate are given and in proper metric unit, so we do not need to make any changes. Last one is pipe radius. In the question, diameter is given, so we can calculate radius by dividing by 2 and then convert it into meter. Now we can just put these values in the equation, and after calculation we get the pressure drop value, which is equal to 15,923. During injection molding, polymer melt is pushed inside a mold at a very high pressure, which leads to densification of the melt. To learn more about injection molding, please watch our video on that topic. In the meantime, in this question, we need to find what will be the fractional decrease in volume of a specific polymer. So here, it is given that pressure applied is 200 megapascal and the polymer's bulk modulus is 1 gigapascal. As we know, bulk modulus is equal to pressure divided by change in volume. So, by simply putting the values of modulus and pressure, we can calculate fractional change in volume. And the value is 0.2. In question 21, we need to calculate the sulfur content in the cross-linked polyisoprene. Vulcanization is the common method to cross-link rubber material. In this, sulfur is added to rubber and when properly mixed, it is heated to desired crosslink temperature. Once crosslink is formed, then the sulfur bond connects two monomers from either similar or different chain. So, to solve this question, let's assume that there are X number of isoprene units. As it is 40% cross-linked, so total number of isoprene units involved in cross-linking are 40% of X. Again, as mentioned earlier that one crosslink bond connects two monomer unit, then number of crosslink will be half of the number of monomer units. As 2 sulfur is present in each crosslink bond, then the number of sulfur atoms will be again number of bonds multiplied by 2. Now, by multiplying the atomic number of sulfur to its total number, we can get the total weight of sulfur in the rubber material. And weight fraction of sulfur can be calculated by dividing total sulfur weight by total weight of rubber material, which consists of both sulfur and isoprene unit. After calculation, the sulfur content value is 15.8%. Next question is, what will be the true stress when a sample with 30 mm by 4 mm by 4 mm is elongated to 150% of initial length on application of 160 Newton force? True stress is force divided by actual or final cross-section area. After deformation, the new length will be 45 mm. As volume remain unchanged, the initial volume will be equal to new cross-section area multiplied by 45. On simplification, the new cross-section area is 10.67 millimeter square. Now divide force by new area and this will give you true stress, which is 15 Newton millimeter square. Thank you for watching this video and all the best for your exam.